Grey-eyed morn smiles on the frowning night, checkering the eastern clouds with streaks of light, and flecked darkness like a drunkard reels from fourth day's path, and tightens fiery wheels. Now where the sun advances, burning eye, the day to cheer, and night's dank dew to dry, I must have filled this osier cage of ours with baleful weeds and precious juiced flowers. The earth, that's nature's mother, is her tomb. What is her burying grave? That is her womb, and from her womb children of divers kind we, sucking on her natural bosom, find. Many, for many virtues excellent, none but for some, and yet all different. Oh, mickle is the powerful grace that lies in plants, herbs, stones, and their true qualities. For not so vile that on the earth doth live, but to the earth some special good doth give, nor aught so good, but strained from that fair use, revolts from true birth, stumbling on abuse. Virtue itself turns vice being misapplied, and vice sometimes by action dignified. Within the infant rind of this weak flower, poison hath residence and medicine power, for this being smelt, with that part cheers each part. Being tasted, slays all senses with the heart. Two such opposed kings encamp them still in man as well as herbs, grace and rude will. And where the worser is predominant, full soon the canker death eats up that plant.
Good morrow, Father.
Benedicite! What early tongue so sweet saluteth me? Young son, it argues a distempered head so soon to bid good morrow to thy bed. Care keeps his watch at every old man's eye, and where care lodges, sleep will never lie. But where unbruised youth with unstuffed brain doth couch his limbs, there golden sleep doth reign. Therefore thy earliness doth me assure thou art uproused with some distemperature, or if not so, then here I hit it right. Our Romeo hath not been in bed tonight.
At last is true. The sweeter rest was mine.
God pardon sin. Wast thou with Rosaline?
With Rosaline, my ghostly father? No. I forgot that name, and that name's woe.
That's my good son. But where hast thou been, then?
I'll tell thee ere thou ask it me again. I have been feasting with mine enemy, where on a sudden one hath wounded me, that's by me wounded. Both our remedies within thy help and holy physic lies. I bear no hatred, blessed man, for lo, my intercession likewise steads my foe.
Be plain, good son, and homely in thy drift. Riddling confession finds but riddling shrift.
Then plainly know, my heart's dear love is set on the fair daughter of rich Capulet. As mine on hers, so hers is set on mine, and all combined, save what thou must combine by holy marriage. When and where and how we met, we wooed and made exchange of vow. I'll tell thee as we pass, but this I pray, that thou consent to marry us today.
Holy Saint Francis, what a change is here! Is Rosaline, that thou didst love so dear, so soon forsaken? Young men's love then lies not truly in their hearts, but in their eyes. Joseph Maria, what a deal of brine hath washed thy sallow cheeks for Rosaline! How much salt water thrown away in waste to season love that of it doth not taste! The sun not yet thy sighs from heaven clears, thy old groans ring yet in mine ancient ears. Lo, here upon my cheek the stain doth sit of an old tear that is not washed off yet. If e'er thou wast thyself, and these woes thine, thou and these woes were all for Rosaline, and art thou changed? Pronounce this sentence then. Women may fall when there's no strength in men.
Thou chid'st me oft for loving Rosaline.
For doting, not for loving, pupil mine.
And bad'st me bury love.
Not in a grave to lay one in, another out to have.
I pray thee chide not. She whom I love now doth grace for grace and love for love allow. The other did not so.
Oh, she knew well thy love did read by rote that could not spell. But come, young waverer, come, go with me. In one respect I'll thy assistant be, for this alliance may so happy prove to turn your household's rancor to pure love.
Oh, let us hence. I stand on sudden haste.
Wisely and slow, they stumble that run fast.
Where the devil should this Romeo be? Came he not home last night?
Not to his father's. I spoke with his man.
Why, that same pale, hard-hearted wench, that Rosaline, torments him so that he will sure run mad.
Tybalt, the kinsman to old Capulet, hath sent a letter to his father's house.
A challenge on my life.
Romeo will answer it.
Any man that can write may answer a letter.
Nay, he will answer the letter's master. How he dares, being dared.
Alas, poor Romeo, he is already dead, stabbed with a white wench's black eye, shot through the ear with a love song, the very pin of his heart cleft with the blind bowboy's butt shaft. And is he a man to encounter Tybalt?
Why, what is Tybalt?
More than Prince of Cats, I can tell you. Oh, he's the courageous captain of compliments. He fights as you sing prick song. He keeps time, distance, and proportion. Rests me his minim rest. 1, 2, and the third in your bosom. The very butcher of a silk button. A duelist, a gentleman of the very first house, of the first and second cause. Ah, the immortal passato, the punto reverso, the hey!
The what?
The pox of such antic, lisping, affecting fantasticos, these tuner of accent. By Jesu, a very good blade, a very tall man, a very good whore. Why, is not this a lamentable thing, Grandsir, that we should be thus afflicted with these strange flies, these fashion mongers, these pardon moi, who stand so much on the new form that they cannot sit at ease on the old bench. Oh, their bones, their bones.
Here comes Romeo. Here comes Romeo.
Without his roux, like a dried herring. With my road, you go. Oh, flesh, how art thou fishified? Now is he for the numbers that Petrarch flowed in. Laura to his lady was but a kitchen wench. Mary, she had a better love to berhyme her. Dido, a dowdy. Cleopatra, a gypsy. Helen and Hero, Hildings and harlots. Thisbe a grayer so, but not to the purpose. Sonia, Romeo, bonjour. There's a French salutation to your French slop. You gave us the counterfeit fairly last night. What counterfeit did I give you? The slip, sir, the slip. Can you not conceive? Pardon, good Mercutio, my business was great, and in such a case as mine, a man may strain courtesy. That's as much as to say such a case as yours constrains a man to bow in the ham. Meaning to curtsy? Thou hast most kindly hit a most courteous exposition. Nay, I am the very pink of courtesy. Pink for flower? Right. Why, then, is my pump well flowered? There, upon my foot, sir. Well said. Follow me this jest now till thou hast worn out thy pump, that, when the single soul of it is worn, the jest may remain after the wearing solely singular. Oh, single soul jest solely singular for the singleness. Come between us, good Benvolio, my wits faint. Swits and spurs, or I'll cry a match. Nay, if our wits run the wild goose chase, I am done. For thou hast more of the wild goose in one of thy wits than I am sure I have in my whole 5. Was I with you there for the goose? Thou was never with me for anything when thou was not there for the goose. I will bite thee by the ear for that jest. Good goose. Ow! Bite not. Thy wit is a very bitter sweeting. It is a most sharp sauce. And is it not, then, well served into a sweet goose? Oh, here's a winter cheverel that stretches from an inch narrow to an L broad. I stretch it out for that word broad, which, added to the goose, proves thee far and wide a broad goose. Why, is not this better now than groaning for love? Now art thou sociable, now art thou Romeo, now art thou what thou art, by art as well as by nature. For this driveling love is like a great natural that runs lolling up and down to hide his bauble in the hole.
Stop there. Stop there.
Oh, thou desirest me to stop in my tail against the hair.
Thou would else have made thy tail large.
Oh, thou art deceived. I would have made it short, for I was come to the whole depth of my tale, and meant indeed to occupy the argument no longer.
Here's Goobly, dear.
A sail.
Two. A shirt and a smock.
Peter!
Manon!
My fan, Peter!
Good Peter to hide her face, for her fan's the fairer face of the two.
Fan, nurse. Thank you, Peter. God ye good morrow, gentlemen.
God ye good day, fair gentlewoman.
Is it good day?
'Tis no less, I tell ye, for the body hand of the dial is now upon the prick of noon.
Out upon you!
Oh,
What a man are you!
one gentlewoman that God hath made for himself to mar.
By my troth, it's well said for himself to mark, Gentlemen, can any of you tell me where I may find the young Romeo?
I can tell you, but young Romeo will be older when you have found him than he was when you sought him. I am the youngest of that name, for fault of the worst.
You say well.
Yea, is the worst well, very well took in faith, wisely.
If you be he, sir, I desire some confidence with you.
She will indict him to some supper.
Abode, so.
What's confound, Mercutio?
No hair, sir, unless a hair, sir, in a Lenten pie that is something stale and hoar ere it be spent.
Oh.
An old hair whore and an old hair whore is very good meat in Lent, but a hair that is whore is too much for a score when it whores ere it be spent. Romeo, will you come to your father's? We'll to dinner thither.
I will follow you.
Farewell, ancient lady. Farewell, lady. Come, Benvolio.
Marry, farewell! I pray you, sir, what saucy merchant was this that was so full of his ropery?
A gentleman nurse that loves to hear himself talk, and will speak more in a minute than he will stand to in a month.
And he speak anything against me, I'll take him down. And you are lustier than he is, and 20 such jacks. And if I cannot, I'll find those that shall. Scurvy knave, I'm none of his flirt jills. I'm none of his skeins, mate. And thou, Peter, must stand by too and suffer every knave to use me at his pleasure.
I saw no man use you at his pleasure. If I had, my weapon should quickly have been out, I warrant you. I dare draw as soon as another man if I see occasion in a good quarrel. And the law is on my side.
Now, before God, I'm so vexed that every part of me quivers. Scurvy knave, Peter! Ow! Oh. Pray you, sir, a word. And as I told you, my young lady bid me inquire you out. What she bid me say, I will keep to myself. But first, let me tell ye, if ye should lead her into a fool's paradise, as they say, it were very gross kind of behavior, as they say. For the gentlewoman is young, and therefore if you should deal double with her, truly it were an ill thing to be offered to any gentlewoman, and very weak dealing.
Nurse, commend me to thy lady and mistress. I protest unto thee.
Good heart and in faith, I will tell her as much. Lord, she'll be a joyful woman.
Wait, what wilt thou tell her, nurse? Thou dost not mark me.
I will tell her, sir, that you do protest, which, as I take it, is a gentlemanlike offer.
Nay, bid her devise some means to come to Shrift this afternoon, and there she shall at Friar Lawrence's cell be shrived and married. Here is for thy pains.
No, truly, sir, not a penny.
Go to, I say you shall.
Oh, well, this afternoon, sir. Well, she shall be there.
And stay, good nurse, behind the abbey wall. Within this hour my man shall be with thee, and bring thee cords made like a tackled stair, which to the high topgallant of my joy must be my convoy in the secret night. Farewell. Be trusty, and I'll quit thy pains. Farewell. Commend me to thy mistress.
Now God in heaven bless thee. Hark you, sir.
What sayest thou, my dear nurse?
Is your man secret? Did you ne'er hear say two may keep counsel, putting one away?
I warrant thee, my man's as true as steel.
Well, sir, my mistress is the sweetest lady. Lord, when 'twas a little prating thing. Oh, there is a nobleman in town, one Paris, that would fain lay knife aboard, but she, good soul, had his leave see a toad.